Hello everyone, I'm Lowri Jones. I'm the Senior Curator at the Royal College of Physicians Museum in London. We're really pleased to be able to take part in the Digital London Festival of Architecture and to share with you some of the fantastic architecture of the RCP, even though you can't visit us at the moment. As part of LFA Digital, I'm going to be introducing you to this year's theme of power and how that relates to the RCP's buildings both in the past and now. If I tell you that the RCP is over 500 years old and ask you to imagine what kind of building we might be situated in now, is this what you're expecting? I'd guess probably not. And to tell you how we got to this point, I'm going to start right back over 500 years ago in 1518, when Henry VIII founded the college at the urging of his personal doctor, a man called Thomas Linacre. Originally, members of the college met in Linacre's house on Knightrider Street in the City of London. This was known as the Stone House, and the name automatically tells you something about the status of physicians at the time. The Stone House didn't have a street number, it didn't need one. At a time when most of the buildings in London were still made of timber, having a stone building made it really distinctive in its own right. It spoke very clearly to the wealth and status of the inhabitants, so both Linacre himself and, by extension, college. The college quite quickly outgrew the stone house, and in the 1600s they moved nearby to a large premises on Amen Corner. This had all the trappings of the 17th century gentleman. Studies, a reading room and parlour, stables and servants' areas, and a beautiful classically styled museum and library. This was all sadly destroyed in the Great Fire of London in 1666, resulting in some extensive fundraising by the college to finance their third building, a new building built on Warwick Lane in the City of London, so again, still right at the centre of London life. This new building was purposely extravagant, built by the college in order to show off its power and wealth. The building was designed by scientist Robert Hooke and was structured around a central courtyard with two wings, a library designed by Sir Christopher Wren, and a public gallery that was lined in Spanish oak panelling, some of which you can still see in our current building. This new Warwick Lane building quickly became a landmark and tourist attraction with its distinctive octagonal dome above the entrance. This dome was actually a late-minute addition to the building, and it housed an anatomy theatre, which was very unusual for the time and made it one of the few places in the country where doctors could go to watch anatomical dissections. By the 1800s, however, the city was no longer the place to be. Government, fashionable society, and most of the physicians' wealthy patients had moved across town to the West End. The college followed and moved into a building overlooking what would later become Trafalgar Square, moving in with an opening ceremony attended by 5 dukes, 5 princes, and numerous high-flying politicians. This fourth headquarters was designed in the Greek Revival style by Robert Smirke, a British museum firm. The striking entrance portico led into a large entrance hall with huge stained glass windows and a grand staircase leading up to a double-storey library. The building also had a dining room, cum lecture theatre and an examination hall, but no anatomy theatre. So at this point we've got the prestige and the status and the power to an extent overshadowing the practical side of medicine, which is no longer happening directly in the college. By the 1950s, the college was looking to move again. The Trafalgar Square headquarters were too small, but also increasingly too old-fashioned for what was now a very forward-thinking organisation. 5 architects were interviewed for the job of designing a new building on the Regents Park site where we are today, and Dennis Lasdon was appointed. This was despite the selection committee thinking that architecturally he seemed to be rather a dangerous young man. Lasdon was surprised at being chosen considering his modernist style. He'd made it very clear that he would not design a classical building for the college, and actually it turned out that that was exactly what they wanted. The brief was to design a modern building to match with the forward-thinking outlook of the organisation, but also to make it reflect the long history of the college. And there was an added caveat: it had to fit in with the Regency terraces that surrounded the Regents Park site. Whether it does that or not, you'll have to come and visit us when you can and make up your own mind. To come up with his design, Lasson spent a lot of time observing the physicians in their existing building. He attended their ceremonies and he watched how they moved around the space to get a really deep understanding of the building and its functions and those of the organisation. The resulting building combines modernist elegance and a strong sense of tradition. So, for instance, we have the mosaic tiled exterior and central hall leading unexpectedly onto the very traditional looking spaces of the Centres Room and Dorchester Library. 11 St Andrew's Place was opened by the Queen on the 5th of November 1964, and since then it's been described variously as a battleship, an ocean liner and a sausage factory. It still divides opinion today, and though it has its detractors, it has had Grade 1 listed status since 1998, which makes it one of only a handful of buildings in the country to have that. That brings us up to date. We are still in the St Andrew's Place building, but that's not all. In early 2021, the RCP will be opening an exciting new purpose-built office in partnership with Liverpool City Council, RCP at the spine. This has been designed by Robert Hopkins and it takes its name from what will be a distinctive staircase resembling the form of vertebrae, which will be visible from the outside of the building. The facade of the building will feature a pattern responding to the texture of human skin, and the interior will use a natural colour palette and biophilic design features. That is, the use of repeating patterns such as those that appear in nature. Once again, it will be a really drastic change architecturally for the college, and I know that I personally can't wait to see it. So there you have it, 500 plus years of architecture in a bit over 5 minutes. London Festival of Architecture is running throughout June and they've got loads of content online for you to check out. Just have a look at their website and on social media. If you're interested in finding out more about the RCP's architecture or our history, then similarly we've got loads of stuff for you to get your teeth into. Just have a look at the links in the post or at the end of this video. Thanks so much for watching everyone. Take care and goodbye.